Today is Thursday, May 13th, and this is Eunoia, spoken by Elswyth. Of course, it's actually Wednesday, and I'm recording this for the benefit of PETA to see if I can make it through the introduction without coughing. I've had some lovely feedback about the phantom butt plug session, and already I'm looking to release another file like it soon. I'm eager still to hear more feedback about how it worked for you, whether you experienced the lasting effects of hypnosis, or just enjoyed the session while it played. I've also had some comments and suggestions for the mind control fragments I posted last month, and I'll be adding some extra fragments as the month goes on. By far, a favorite has been the element that includes a mild scolding from Mistress, and I also received a few answers to the question. Dear D let me know that he needs to be scolded for not trusting that I would read his messages, and wrote that he was getting angry that he couldn't be patient when I took a break to meet some other deadlines. My loyal dude, we'll call him C, also reached out with my favorite suggestion and the reason I'm working on expanding on the story of Naughty Bunny this week. Something about forgetting to clear their browser history while borrowing Mistress's laptop. C also wrote to me regarding the fragment about Pixie, my flirty French maid. You can see a longer extract of this message on the blog post today, but the crux of his comment is that, well, he doesn't fully follow the desire to play as my maid, and that's fine. I have a laundry list of kinks, so, some are borrowed from partners past and present, of course. Outside of all of that, hypnosis and mind control and generally being on top, they're exciting on their own. But there's a suggestion in this note that playing as my maid, it would be a way to explore a feminine side. By the way, if you can hear something in the background, that is my littlest doggo, as he is rummaging around trying to figure out where my other sock is. I know, socks. Unfortunately for him, it's nowhere he's going to find it because he is a little monster when he manages to do so. Okay, so where was I? Oh, the suggestion about playing as a maid to explore a feminine side. And while I don't think there's anything wrong with that, it's not how I think of it. Maid is a job and a profession, of course. But in this context, the maid in question is my maid. Like a lady's maid in a British period drama. When we play that way, there's an undertone of power exchange and toying with class and roles, and yes, that uniform is a dress, and often a very flouncy dress at that. But I'm not looking to humiliate you and control you by making you feel like a woman. Who in their right mind would ever be humiliated to be a woman? I want to make you blush because you're coded as subservient and constantly reminded that I'm the one in control. So, what is humiliation play? This is often a complicated game to indulge in, involving pushing buttons that are sometimes difficult to even place your finger on. After all, we're careful to be considerate of consent and respectful of boundaries and of safe words. How can I really humiliate you? Only by doing things you've explicitly asked for. Humiliation play is all about making you feel that sense of embarrassment we all experience when we do something we shouldn't. It's that sense that we've been caught even when we've made an honest mistake. A compromised image is the center of a lot of humiliation fantasies. It's why girly outfits or submissive sexual acts are the cornerstone of so many men's daydreams, when humiliation is a big part of their sexual desires. In the Naughty Bunny... Sorry, the dog is going crazy. Hey, stop. In the Naughty Bunny session, which touches on feminization, I play with this by creating a scenario in which my dear pet is found doing something they shouldn't be doing. Is knowing that you've earned my disapproval humiliating to you? Dragging out that sensation of being caught by asking difficult, leading questions. Questioning why you're wired this way, why you want to be topped and controlled by me. One of my favorite ways to play with humiliation is to use the power you've given to me in ways you wouldn't expect. Perhaps I'll use your promise of openness and honesty to take away your privacy, asking you to explain exactly where you're going each time you leave the room, or following you to the bathroom when you take a shower. Or maybe, instead of a gag, I'll have you hold a rubber chew toy or a number 2 pencil between your teeth. You can do that for me, can't you? Are you really going to complain about something as silly as that? So let's take a moment to find your focus and consider in what ways humiliation touches on your own interest and appetites. And maybe it doesn't in the slightest. After which, we'll talk about your homework and permissive circumstance. Let's take those 3 deep breaths in, counting into 4 and out as long as you can. Pause, and now take another deep breath into 4 and out as long as you can. Taking that pause before you take the 3rd breath in. I promised you homework, and this is it. Let me know your guilty pleasure. Kinky or not, you could admit the terrible movie or cheesy pop song you love, in spite of everyone else agreeing it's so bad. And your permissive circumstance? Remember looking in the mirror for me while you played? Well, I found I really enjoyed saying, yes, but. So today you have my permission as long as you're in the shower or the bathtub. Thank you for your devotion and your loyalty. In the next episode, I'll be talking a little more about humiliation and degradation leading up to the next full-length session. But if these are not your kinks, don't despair. I also have a couple creative ones that will be coming out soon. And playing a little more in the kind of vanilla, kind of out there way that has nothing at all to do with fetishes, but is so much fun to do with hypnosis.